Hey there, welcome to Mahogany Sweets. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. I wanted to come today and talk to you guys about something that is very near, dear, and important to me, and I'm sure that it is near, dear, and important to millions of other people, even though we know millions won't see this. But for those who do, I hope that it brings you encouragement and strength. Yesterday was my son's birthday, who passed away from SIDS at exactly 2 months old. This is his blanket that his grandmother crocheted for him. So as I was just thinking about my baby, yeah, always keep something. If it's something, whether you lost your children to sudden infant death, to miscarriage, to abortion, to giving them up for adoption, or to violence, or to the system taking them from you, whatever it is, if it is at all possible for you to have or keep something that belongs to them, please do it. That is a form of therapy, believe it or not, that is necessary. And that's the other thing I want to talk about. I did not get therapy. I was offered therapy when I lost him. I did not get it. Make sure that you do, and it's never too late. I don't care if it's 5, 10 years later, for whatever reason, whether they have passed on and are with God in heaven, or whether they are in the care or hands of someone else. Get the therapy. It is necessary, and I regret not getting therapy because it turned my life totally upside down, and that's a trauma that I should have dealt with. So it showed up in many other ways in my life, and it actually was destroying my life. When I found out I was pregnant and expecting, I was so happy, and my mindset just totally switched. I I got closer to God. I started reading my Bible more. I started praying more, going to church more. I wanted to be a better person, so I started trying to correct character flaws in me. I began to cling on to morals and values that everyone should have, because before, I was young. I'm in my early 20s, actually, well, late teens, I guess you would call it. I don't know. So I'm just living life, not really giving care to the future or anything. And then when I had him, that totally changed. And I'm like, no, I want to be the best I can be. I want to be a great example. I want to give this child a great future. I want to love this child and raise this child correctly. So my whole mindset was just towards working hard, thinking for the future, and things like that. So then he when I woke up, because that's how he passed away in his sleep. So when I woke up to a deceased cold baby. So I guess it had been some time in the night that he had passed away, because he was already cold at that point. His tongue, mouth was clammy and purple. Um, it shattered my world. It shattered my world, and I went through a deep depression. I did not want to live anymore. I began heavily drinking, violently, a violent drunk at that. Like, I was just trying to sleep as much as possible. And then when I woke up and couldn't sleep anymore, I would just drink until I could get back to sleep. I did not want to be alive, and I started making bad decisions for my life, where therapy might have helped me through that and helped me to not make so many bad decisions. But as a parent, when you lose a child, it is a traumatic experience. We are not built to be able to handle and cope with that, especially not on our own, since we aren't supposed to bury our children. Our children are supposed to outlive us and bury us. So I don't think any person is prepared mentally, emotionally, spiritually to be able to handle that, since it's not supposed to happen. So I just want to send you all my love and encouragement that you can get through this, that life will continue on, that our losses or our mistakes do not define us. Because I know there are some people who their child is still alive, but they lost their child maybe to bad decisions that they were making, or at a young age they were encouraged to give the child up for adoption or to abort, because I have friends who have even aborted children, and that's a guilt and a sadness that they live with all the time, and they say like, wow, my child would have been this age by now. They truly regret it. So just know that it's not the end of the world, and you can go on. You can still build and have a family, and although another child cannot replace the child that you lost in whatever means or for whatever reason, you can still be given the second opportunity to have that pure love and that connection and bond again. God bless me with another child, and I love him just as much as I love the one that I lost. So, oh, and for those who gave their children for adoption or children were taken from them, to bring you comfort and joy, you can pray for them that God put them in the hands of a loving family, gave them a loving parent that will give them the best and love them as their own. And one day, it's not in the world, because one day you can reconnect with that child and build a relationship with that child. Those who have are dealing with fertility issues and you haven't been given that blessing yet, it is not the end of the world. Thank God for technology. There are still ways that you can have that gift of having a child through in vitro fertilization, through surrogacy, through adoption. It can still have a family, and life can still go on and be fulfilling for you. For for and I just thought about it. I know stories and have heard stories of women who at 25, 30, 35 were trying to have children and couldn't due to certain fertility issues, and they later 40, 45 were blessed with a child naturally. So also remember that God can do anything and he doesn't work on our timetable. So although for you, you might have wanted and said, I want this now, I want this at this time, don't try and lock God in, because he's going to give you that blessing at the perfect time. Whether you, in our way of thinking, feel that it was too late or not on your timetable of how you envision your future, God can still bless you with that gift, and it's a blessing whenever you get it, in whatever way you get it, whether that's natural, whether that's in vitro, whether that's surrogacy, whether that's adoption. You can still have that and know that it is not the end of the world, and that you do still have the opportunity to have that. Just for those who like maybe you ended up in prison, so your children had to be raised by someone else. You can thank God and just find peace that there was someone there to raise them in your stead, and that you can still reach out and reconnect with them and have that relationship. As parents, our mind and our thoughts is always that we want to protect our children, we want to love on them, but we can't always protect them from everything. We can't. Life happens and it throws us blows, and it puts us through hell, quite frankly. But try and find peace in knowing that they're in the best hands that they can be in, if not your own, which is God's. For those who have deceased children, God is in heaven is the best place that they can be. And what brings me some comfort and peace is looking at it like, okay, well, he will never have to experience pain. He will never have to experience being heartbroken. He will never have to experience the stress and the depression and the struggles that come with living. Because having life is a blessing, but it comes with a lot of struggles and things that we have to conquer. So don't let losing your child for whatever reason, or not having one yet, defeat you. Don't let it tear you down, which, trust me, I've been through it. I know that's easier said than done. I had to deal with depression for years, and each year it got better and better. I'm finally at a better place. And like I said, what I try and use as encouragement and to help me through when I have those times where depression is trying to come on, because I never want to find myself back in depression again. Like, depression is something that's a heavy, torturous burden. And we don't want that for any of you, for anyone. So get therapy if you need it. For those who have lost their child, for whatever reason, any means, if you have something that belong to them that you can hold on to, take it. Make sure that you keep it as a keepsake. Remember that life works out and God is the final say in everything. He has control, and try and just find peace in knowing that his plan and his timing is everything, and it's for a reason. And although we don't always understand that reasoning, because I was very upset with God for a long time. I was very upset with God for quite some time that my son was taken away from me. But I turned and looked at it, although I don't understand. God knows, and I'm just going to trust in that this happened for a greater reason. Let me try and use it to not in me, but make me better in life, make me stronger in life. That's use it as that. It's making you stronger in life. It's making you better in life. Don't let it tear you down, because the last thing that your child will want is for you to have allowed their passing or them being taken destroy you internally. They will want you to push on. And that is also one of the things that I use to encourage me and help me to get through my depression, is that my child wouldn't want to see me losing it off the rails. You know, he wouldn't have wanted his death and his memory to be tarnished by me allowing it to destroy me and destroy my future. So also try and hold on to that. How this child will want to see, you're going to reunite with this child one day if they're still alive in the flesh, and if they're not still alive, you're going to reunite with them in the afterlife, and they will want to embrace you and see that you did well for yourself, that you carried on, that you were strong, you know. So try and hold on to that as well. So I just send my love. That's really what I want to just come and do, is just talk to those who, for whatever reason and whatever means, have lost a child, whether living or deceased. I send you my love, my encouragement, my blessings, my well wishes to you and your situation. That God blesses your womb. That God blesses you to reunite with your child. That God blesses you to have healing and find peace in the fact that you've lost a child. My prayers to you: stay strong, stay encouraged, don't give up, keep living. Don't just exist until your final breath. Actually live until your final breath. Live out your dreams.